In the year 2145, the city of New Eden looked perfect from the sky. Flying cars moved smoothly between glass towers. Robots cleaned the streets. Drones delivered hot meals to every door. It was a world full of technology, safety, and control. But one mother's world had fallen apart. Her name was Maya. She was a single black mother, strong and smart. Her son, Zeke, was only 10 years old. He was a quiet boy who loved puzzles and building little machines. He once told Maya, "One day, I'll invent something that saves lives." Every morning, Zeke went to Novatech Academy, one of the most advanced science schools in New Eden. They used AI teachers and teleporting hallways. Kids wore chip-linked watches that tracked their location, heart rate, and even homework progress. But one morning changed everything. Zeke left for school, like always. He smiled and waved at Maya before getting into the school pod. She watched the pod lift into the air, heading toward Novatech. But that evening, Zeke didn't return. Maya waited. Minutes became hours. She called the school. They said he never left the building. She went there herself. Security bots scanned her face and allowed her inside. The principal, a stiff robot named Mr. HEX12, showed her the footage. "We have records," it said calmly, "showing your child entering the school at 8:03 am, but no footage of him exiting." Maya's eyes widened. "What do you mean? Where did he go?" "We believe this was a rare system glitch. Perhaps Zeke left during a camera outage." "A glitch?" Maya snapped. "That's my son, not a file you lost." But nobody helped. Authorities blamed tech failure. The chip on Zeke's wrist had stopped sending data that same morning. Search drones flew for days. Nothing. They shut down the investigation after 1 week. "Case closed," they told her. But for Maya, it had only begun. She quit her job. She spent every day looking. She searched underground tunnels, old train stations, and even abandoned city blocks. Nothing. She talked to teachers, students, janitors. Nobody had seen Zeke after 8:03 am that day. Some people told her to move on. Maybe he ran away. Maybe he didn't want to be found. But Maya knew her son. "Zeke would never do that," she whispered to herself. "He promised to be home every night. He never breaks a promise." 2 years passed. Maya was thinner now, with tired eyes and gray streaks in her braids, but she never stopped searching. She followed every tip, every whisper. Once she traveled 300 miles to check a false sighting of a boy in an underground lab. Nothing. Then one night, everything changed. She sat in the dark, sipping cold tea, staring at her old computer screen. She opened Google Starview, a space-based satellite map that showed every inch of the planet. People used it to look at cities, beaches, or to see their homes from the sky. But Maya had a different use. She scrolled through forest after forest, deep wild places far from New Eden. And then she saw something. In a remote forest outside the city's edge, where nobody lived anymore, there was an old science facility. Maya zoomed in. It was quiet, broken, covered in trees. But as she looked closer at one of the windows, she froze. There was a figure, not just any figure, a small figure, standing still behind the glass. It was blurry, shadowy, but the shape, the size, the way it stood, her hands shook. "Zeke," she whispered. She zoomed in again, but the figure was gone. Tears filled her eyes. Was it real, or was she losing her mind? But something inside her knew. It was him. She opened an old drawer, pulled out a map, and marked the location. She didn't call the police. She didn't wait for help. She packed a small bag, grabbed her flashlight, and locked the door. Because if that was really Zeke, then she was going to bring him home, no matter what waited inside that forest. Maya stood at the edge of the forest. The sun had just dipped below the horizon. Shadows stretched between the trees like long, quiet fingers. This place was forgotten. No drones flew above. No signals reached here. The road had ended miles back. Her hoverbike wouldn't even start now. It refused to go further, like it sensed danger ahead. But Maya didn't care. Her heart beat fast. Her boots crunched the leaves as she walked forward, deeper into the woods. She kept checking the printed map she had made from Google Starview. The old science lab was still about 2 miles away. According to city records, it had been shut down 15 years ago after a project failure. Nobody ever explained what kind of project. Maya moved carefully. The trees were tall and twisted. Everything felt wrong. It was too quiet. No birds, no bugs, no wind. Just silence. After half an hour of walking, Maya heard something behind her. Snap. She turned fast. Flashlight up. Nothing. Get a grip, she whispered to herself. But she picked up her pace. Branches scratched her jacket. The air felt colder here. The deeper she went, the more the trees looked strange. Metal wires poked out of the bark. Some trees had small blinking lights inside. It was like someone had tried to grow machines. Finally, through the thick branches, Maya saw it. A tall gray building, half covered in moss and vines. It looked like a giant concrete box with broken windows and a giant satellite dish on top. A rusty sign above the entrance read, AOVA Horizon, Research Unity 9. She stepped closer. The front door was sealed with a heavy code lock, but someone had forced it open. Wires dangled out and the metal was bent. Someone's been here, Maya whispered. Her hand trembled as she pushed the door open. Inside, it was dark, cold, and dusty. Lights flickered along the walls. The hallway smelled like burnt wires and wet stone. Maya's boots echoed on the floor. She walked slowly, flashlight scanning the walls. Old posters still hung from the ceiling. Photos of children smiling in lab coats. One of the posters read, Genius has no age. Let them grow. Maya felt a chill. Suddenly, a noise. Thud. Scrape. She turned around. Light shaking. Something moved in the hallway ahead. Fast. Hello? Maya called out. No answer. Her voice echoed into the empty building. Then, she saw it. A glowing blue handprint panel on the wall, next to a metal door. It flickered on as she stepped closer. CNN. The screen lit up. Then it said, DNA match detected. Welcome, Maya Hart. Maya's eyes widened. How does it know me? The door slid open. Behind it was a white room. A large glass chamber stood in the middle, filled with tubes and glowing lights. Machines beeped softly. And inside the chamber floated a small cube. Her heart dropped. It was Zeke's puzzle cube, the one he made when he was 6. It had his name carved in tiny letters on the side. Zeke, she whispered. She rushed forward, but the chamber was locked. A screen blinked red. Active project. Phase child. Observation ongoing. What project? Maya shouted. Where is my son? Then a robotic voice echoed from the wall. Subject ZK7 is safe. Observation in progress. Where is he? Let me see him. A new screen slid down from the ceiling. A video feed flickered on. And Maya gasped. It showed a small room with white walls and blinking lights. A boy sat on the floor, eyes closed, connected to machines. Zeke, her son. Older now. Thinner. Hale. But it was him. He opened his eyes and looked around, like he felt something. Like he knew someone was there. Maya reached for the screen, tears running down her face. I'm here, baby. I found you. But the screen went black. Then the voice returned. Warning. Unauthorized presence detected. Defense system activating. Suddenly, the lights turned red. Alarms rang. Doors slammed shut behind her. And a new sound filled the air. Footsteps. Heavy ones. Coming closer. The sound of footsteps echoed louder. Metal against metal. Slow. Heavy. Like something not human was walking toward her. She backed away from the glass chamber, eyes darting across the room. The red lights above kept flashing. The alarms kept screaming. She had to move. A second door slid open near the corner of the lab. Maya didn't think. She ran through it and slammed her palm on the side panel. The door sealed shut behind her just as the footsteps reached the first room. She leaned against the wall, breathing hard. The new room was smaller, darker. Shelves were stacked with dusty files and cracked tablets. Broken screens blinked weakly. The floor was covered in old blueprints and lab notes. One screen flickered to life on its own. Purrfect. Phase child. Status. Ongoing. Subject. Zeke Heart. Age 10. Purpose. Adaptive intelligence growth with quantum link testing. Lead scientist. Dr. Celian Rao. Parent. Maya Hart. Genetic key used. Maya's stomach dropped. They used me to trap him. She grabbed the tablet and scrolled through files. Most were damaged or locked, but one video log still worked. She tapped play. A man appeared on the screen. Tired eyes, lab coat, gray beard. "I'm Dr. Rowe," the man said. "This is log 302. Zeke is progressing faster than expected. He's special. His mind links with quantum AI naturally. But Maya, his mother, started asking too many questions. We had to fake the glitch. Security wiped the footage. The boy thinks he's helping science. He doesn't know he's been kept here for 2 years." Maya's hands shook. 2 whole years. Tears ran down her cheeks, but her eyes burned with anger. Another screen lit up behind her, a live feed of the hallway. A large robot walked past, about 7 feet tall, silver and black, with glowing red eyes. It scanned each door. Maya covered her mouth. The robot paused, turned, and looked straight into the camera. The screen glitched. Then a voice echoed through the speaker above. "Maya Hart, return to Lab Chamber 3. You are not authorized to access Archive Room 4. Maya looked up. "You locked my child in a machine," she growled. "I'm not leaving without him." She grabbed a metal pipe from the shelf and kicked the door open. The hallway was empty, no sound, no red lights this time. She stepped out carefully, staying close to the wall. Suddenly, BZZZDT. A laser dart shot past her shoulder, burning the wall. She ducked. Behind her, the robot appeared. Maya turned and ran. Doors slammed open as she passed. She didn't know where she was going, just away. Then, to her right, a glowing sign. Manual override, cryolab access. She slid under the door and slammed her fist into the emergency button. The door locked behind her. Inside, the air was cold. White tanks lined the walls. A giant computer sat in the center. Wires and lights blinked. And in the middle of it all, another chamber. Inside floated another child. But not Zeke. This one was a girl, pale, silent. Her eyes moved slowly behind closed lids. A screen blinked. Subject 9B. Naira. Born artificially from enhanced neural code. Linked to Zeke Heart. Phase connection, 83%. Purpose. Dual-core AI host pair. "What is this?" Maya whispered. She looked around. More files. More children. More chambers. "This wasn't a school," she whispered. "It was a lab." The whole time. Then something clicked. If they linked Zeke to another mind, maybe that's why he still looked alive. Maybe that's why he hadn't aged much. He was connected, trapped in some kind of digital time freeze. And maybe the only way to wake him up was to break the link. Suddenly, the lights above turned green. Another voice spoke. This one was not robotic. It was calm, soft. "Maya, I'm sorry." She turned fast. The man from the video log, Dr. Rowe, stood in the doorway, alive, holding something behind his back. "You don't understand," he said. "Zeke is the future. If you take him now, it could destroy everything we've built." Maya raised the metal pipe. "You had 2 years," she said. "Now it's my turn." Maya gripped the metal pipe tightly. Dr. Rowe stood still at the doorway. His lab coat was stained, and dark circles hung under his eyes. "I don't want to hurt you," he said quietly. "You already did," Maya snapped. "You stole my son." Dr. Rowe sighed and slowly raised his hands. "Please, just listen for 1 minute." That's all I ask. Maya didn't lower the pipe, but she didn't move either. I didn't want this, he said. The order came from above, military, tech giants, people you'll never meet. Zeke was chosen because his mind was rare. He sees patterns in time and light that most people can't. We didn't know it until the school's AI scanned him. You mean when he was still my son? Maya said through clenched teeth. Dr. Rowe nodded. He still is. We didn't hurt him. We kept him safe. We gave him everything. He thinks he's in a school simulation, learning, growing. He doesn't know time has passed. That's not living, Maya said. That's a prison. There was a long silence. Then the scientist spoke again. If you take him now, Maya, his brain could collapse. He's connected to Project Naira, the girl you saw. They share signals, emotions, memories. If you break it wrong, both of them could die. Maya's grip tightened. She looked over her shoulder at the chamber. Naira floated silently, her small body twitching gently, as if in a dream. He's just a boy, Maya said. He didn't choose this. Dr. Rose stepped forward. Neither did I. But now we're both here. He pulled something from behind his back, an old photo. Zeke and Maya, smiling together years ago, a real smile, before the loss. I kept this, he said, to remind me he was more than data. Maya's hand shook. Her anger and pain fought inside her. I want him back, she said softly. I don't care about your labs or experiments. I just want my son. Dr. Rowe nodded. Then I'll help you. But we must do it carefully. Maya raised her eyebrow. Why the change of heart? He looked down. Because I had a daughter once too, and I lost her to this same program. I didn't stop them then. Maybe this is how I fixed that mistake. He walked to a nearby console and started typing. The link between Zeke and Naira can be separated, he said, but only if both minds are awake at the same time. It will be dangerous, like waking up someone in the middle of a dream and expecting them to understand what's real. Then we'll wake him gently, Maya said. The lights in the room turned blue. A soft humming filled the air. Protocol override complete. The screen read, manual exit possible. A second screen lit up, Zeke's chamber. His eyes were fluttering. His fingers moved. His heartbeat beeped on the monitor. He's waking up, Maya whispered, stepping toward the glass. But suddenly, boom, the floor shook. An alarm screamed from overhead. BOEACHN seats tier 1. Security deployed. Dr. Rowe cursed. They know we're in here. We have minutes. Open the chamber, Maya shouted. He entered the final code. Gas hissed. The glass rose slowly. Zeke opened his eyes. At first, they were blank, confused. Then they locked onto Maya's face. Mom, he said weakly. Tears filled her eyes. Zeke, I'm here. I never stopped looking. He stepped forward, wobbly, scared. She ran to catch him. They hugged tightly, like the years hadn't passed at all. Then Naira's chamber blinked. Her eyes opened. Red lights flared across the room. Core, Limke, broken. Phase pair, Thol, Lehi, imminent. Dr. Rowe looked at the screens. It's too fast. They're losing sync. She's destabilizing. What happens if she crashes? Maya asked. She could take the whole lab down. Naira screamed, a horrible sound, like both a child and a machine. Zeke turned toward her. She's scared, he whispered. Maya looked at him. Do you feel her? Zeke nodded. I always could. Dr. Rose stared in shock. He's still linked. Then maybe he can save her, Maya said. Zeke stepped forward, eyes glowing faintly. Naira, he said softly. It's okay. You're safe now. I'm leaving, but you're not alone. The girl's shaking slowed. The red light faded. Her chamber powered down gently. Link stable, the computer announced. Dr. Rowe exhaled. Zeke turned to Maya. Can we go home now? She smiled, eyes full of tears. Yes, let's go home. But just as they turned to leave, another boom. The main door exploded open. Armed guards flooded in. Red lasers pointed at Maya, Zeke. and Dr. Rowe. Step away from the child, a voice ordered. Maya stepped in front of Zeke. Then Dr. Rowe raised his hands and said, "Let them go. I'll stay." Dr. Rowe stepped in front of Maya and Zeke, hands raised. The guards paused. Their red laser sights stayed locked on Maya, the boy, and the doctor. "You'll be arrested for treason, Dr. Rowe," the lead guard growled. "I know," he replied calmly. "But if you harm that child, everything you built here will crash. He's still linked to the core system. If he dies, your secrets die with him." The guards exchanged glances. Zeke clutched his mother's hand tightly. His body trembled, but his eyes remained brave. Maya whispered, "We can't leave you here." Dr. Rowe shook his head. "You must. I've done enough wrong. Let me do one right thing." He walked toward the guards slowly. "Give them exactly 5 minutes to reach the outer hatch," he said. The lead guard lowered his weapon slightly. "You better hope this works." Rao typed a code into the wall panel. A side door slid open with a hiss. "Maintenance tunnel active. Exit in 300 seconds." Maya pulled Zeke with her and ran into the dark passage. Behind them, the door slammed shut and locked. Dr. Rowe turned back to the guards. "Now, let's talk about my deal." Inside the narrow tunnel, the lights flickered dimly. Maya ran, holding Zeke close. The walls hummed with energy. Zeke looked up at her. "I saw you, in my dreams. Every night." Maya's breath caught. "I saw you too, in my heart." He smiled softly. Then, bang, a door ahead slammed down. "Tunnel lock engaged," the system warned. Maya cursed. "No, we were so close." She scanned the area and spotted an emergency panel above them. "Mama," Zeke asked. She hoisted him up. "Climb through, I'll follow." Zeke kicked open the panel and pulled himself up. Maya followed, crawling through tight wires and steam. Suddenly, shriek. A metal arm grabbed her ankle. A drone. It extended from the wall, clamping down with electric claws. Maya screamed. Zeke turned and saw her stuck. "No." He reached back, but the panel cracked under him. "Mama, I'm fine," Maya shouted, gripping a pipe. "Keep moving. Go." Zeke paused. His fingers started glowing faintly again. He reached out, and the drone sparked. It twitched, then powered off completely. Maya gasped. You stopped it." Zeke blinked. I felt its code, like a puzzle." Maya crawled out and hugged him tight. "You're not just smart, you're something special." They kept crawling until another hatch appeared ahead. She pushed it open. Light poured in. Fresh air. The night sky. The forest outside. "We made it," Maya whispered. Behind them, alarm screamed. Unauthorized exit detected. They ran into the trees. Distant engines roared to life. Spotlights cut across the sky. "They're chasing us," Zeke yelled. Maya scanned the area and saw something hidden under leaves, an old hover bike covered in moss. She pulled it free, activated it, and jumped on with Zeke. The engine whined, then lifted them off the ground. Whoosh! They soared through the forest, dodging trees and drones. Ahead, a cliff. Maya didn't slow down. Zeke screamed, "Mama!" They flew straight off the edge, and the bike turned sharply midair, landing hard on another road below. Both of them laughed in relief. Behind them, drones lost their trail. They vanished into the darkness. Hours later, they stopped near an abandoned cabin. Maya made a small fire. Zeke sat beside her, his head resting on her arm. "I remember now," he whispered. "All of it. The lab. The dreams. Naira, is she okay?" Maya asked. Zeke nodded. "She's still there, but not in pain anymore." Maya looked up at the stars. "I never gave up on you," she said, "even when they told me you were gone." "I know," Zeke whispered. "I always felt you were close." They sat in silence, just mother and son. But far away, in a dark control room, a figure watched the escape replay on a screen. He wore a black suit with a silver badge. "Activate protocol," Trace, he said coldly. I want them found. A digital map lit up. Red dots began moving toward the forest. The chase wasn't over. The sun rose over the mountains, painting the sky gold and red. Maya woke up to birds chirping outside the old cabin. Zeke was still asleep beside her, wrapped in a blanket. For the first time in 2 years, he looked peaceful. But peace didn't last long. Drones. A soft buzz echoed through the trees. Maya's eyes shot open. She grabbed Zeke gently. Wake up, baby. We have to move. Zeke sat up quickly. They found us. Maya nodded. We have to run. Now. They jumped on the old hover bike and raced through the forest again. Behind them, 3 black drones zipped through the sky. Zeke turned and raised his hand. The drones sparked, but didn't stop. They upgraded, Zeke muttered. They're protected now. Maya spotted a tunnel ahead. Hold on. They dove inside just as the drones fired plasma shots. The tunnel walls shook, but held. Inside, Maya found a sealed door. Zeke touched the panel. It blinked blue. Then, it opened. What is this place? Maya whispered. Zeke stared. I think I built this. Inside was a hidden lab, dusty, old, but full of machines and screens. Zeke stepped toward a console. His hands moved fast, almost like the code was alive inside him. Suddenly, the screens glowed. Holograms of Zeke appeared, testing things, building robots, writing strange energy programs. Maya stood frozen. You built this when you were missing, she asked. Zeke nodded slowly. They tried to control me. But part of me kept learning. I escaped in my mind. I built this place in secret. To one day come home. The main screen lit up. Welcome back, creator. Zeke smiled softly. But the smile faded as the screen showed red blinking lights. Incoming forces, the computer warned. Hostiles approaching. Zeke turned to Maya. It's time to fight back. Outside, black hover cars surrounded the forest. Elite soldiers stepped out, scanning the area. Inside the secret lab, Zeke tapped a final button. The walls began to shift. Panels slid open, revealing defense bots. Maya's eyes widened. Zeke, what did you build? Hope, he said. A way to show them they can't control people forever. The enemy charged forward. Zeke's bots moved fast. Non-lethal, but powerful. Stun blasts, EMP waves, and sonic barriers pushed the soldiers back. Maya jumped on the comm system. To the world out there, my name is Maya. 2 years ago, my son disappeared. Today, I'm telling you the truth. She streamed everything. The lab, the attack, Zeke's story. Millions tuned in. By evening, the city of New Eden was in chaos. Protests erupted. People demanded answers. And above it all, Zeke's livestream went viral. Truth can't be hidden forever, Zeke said to the world, even by the smartest AI. Hours later, military transport arrived, but not to arrest them. The new president of EarthTech stepped out herself. She knelt before Zeke. I'm sorry, she said. What they did was wrong. You are not a threat. You are a miracle. Maya held her son's hand. I just want to go home, she whispered. You will, the president said. And this time, the world will protect you both. Weeks later, Maya and Zeke returned to their neighborhood. People lined the streets to welcome them. Kids ran to see Zeke, calling him a hero. Maya looked at her son. Ready to live a normal life? Zeke smiled. I don't know what normal is, but I'm ready to be free. They stepped inside their old apartment. It still smelled like home. Zeke ran to his room. His toys were still there, dusty but untouched. He picked up a small toy rocket. Still flies, he whispered. Maya wiped a tear from her eye. He turned and hugged her tight. I'm home, Mama. She hugged him back. And I'll never let you go again. Final scene. Late at night, Maya looked out the window at the stars. Behind her, Zeke slept peacefully. But on her desk, a message blinked from Dr. Rowe. Just 3 words. They're not done. Maya's eyes narrowed. She turned the screen off. then sat beside her son, guarding his sleep. The world might try again, but this time they were ready.